G'day guys, welcome to the mailbag preview for the 10th of March, Australian Cup Day and Newmarket Day at Flemington. Got Hayden back. How are you, my man?
Good, boys. How are you?
Big Trav.
There you go. Hayden.
Hat-trick. Is this 3 in a row?
Yeah, 3 in a row for me, so I might be on the bench next week, I reckon.
You've got to keep rotating.
Yeah.
Put the vest on.
Yeah. Super sub.
Alright, this weekend we have Mounting Yard Mail from Ascot and Flemington. Pete's at Ascot, I'm at Flemington. Rob will actually be at Flemington with me. He's down in Melbourne for the weekend. That'll be available via the website. Friday night at Cranbourne, I might be going. Just going to see what the scratchings do. I'm not sure yet. We've got one spot left on the movers, which are going really well. Had another win. We're winning so far this week again. Hopefully that keeps going. Now, on Monday we said that my prices and maps will be free for anyone this week. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it because Drew's been busy with work, so just wait for a tweet or something like that and we'll inform you how you can get it this week if you want it. And all those prices and maps are courtesy of Punting Form. I use all of their, what do you call that?
Information.
Yeah,
data.
Information.
Their template.
Template.
I use
speed
their
maps.
template and their information to create my own prices and my own maps. So puntingform.com.au. Thank you. Alright, should we rip into it?
Let's go.
Race number 1. 1,000 metres down the straight. Benchmark 90. Prices, Trav. My boy!
It's pretty competitive race. $4.20. Top odds Nasdaq's his favourite at the moment. $5 Concealer. And then you're out to $6.50 Demonstrate, $8.50 Thalberg and Bullpit. And then the
One with the rest.
$9 Sunday Escape Dance with Fontaine.
Map. I've got Nasdaq's leading, maybe Thalberg. Sunday Escape can get in behind Nasdaq's. Trevinda might roll forward. Bullpit, Dance with Fontaine. Concealer from 1, probably back. Buried a little bit, have to come inside. And then Demonstrate and Borada. How do you see the track playing?
Well, the interesting thing with the rail at 4 brings the lanes 9, 10, 11 into play, which is predominantly some of the faster lanes on the track. The interesting thing with me was when I sat down and had a look at the card, this is our first real look at Flemington without Mick Goody for quite some time. It'll be interesting.
Do you
to
reckon
see.
he can change the grass that quick?
It depends. It would depend on me whether Mick Good. I know nothing about what happened in regards to Mick leaving. I've got no information in regards to that. But if this was instruction of the stewards to say that, for instance, say the track was racing too quick, or fence was too fast, or if the stewards had any concern about the track, he may have prepared this differently, having that space. So lanes in play 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anything sort of, if you can get, because the rail's in the 4, so if you can 6, 7, 8 off the fence is probably going to be the faster.
So I'd say it's watch and learn early, and we want to. Well, we were talking about this yesterday. You want to watch where the better jockeys, the veteran jockeys, try and get their horses.
Yep.
100%.
They've walked the track. They've got blokes walking the track for them. They've been walking tracks since time began.
Yeah.
That's a good lead often to what the track's going to do.
I sort of look for Oliver Williams. They're two of my favourites in jockey wise, and I also look for Mick Kent's runners.
Yep.
That's what I would do. Mick Kent's runners would be the ones I'll
And I also look for Darren Weir's runners. And if there's jockeys who you don't rate as the top echelon, if they look like they are deliberately heading for one part of the track, you can take it as gospel that they've been instructed to head for that section.
Alright, let's rip into race 1 though. So we've done the map, we've got the prices. Anyone want to focus on a horse here?
I'm sort of interested in Demonstrate. I think they can run this at a reasonable tempo. I thought his win at 9.55 at Moonee Valley last start was really decent. I got a small knock on the favourite Nasdaq's back to. He's a genuine 1,000 metre horse, but I'm just a little bit concerned. He comes out of a very slow race early at Flemington over 1,200, and I just reckon he could be a little bit vulnerable at the price. Demonstrate represents a little bit of value for mine at the current quote. With the new stable and his form at Flemington up the straight on his day is quite good. I think he's probably the best horse in the race exposed on his best, and I think at 650 I'm happy to play here each way.
I think the horse jumped out of the ground last start, and I'd be very cautious of it running flat off it. I don't like the horse has done nothing until last start.
Yeah, I wouldn't entirely agree with that because he went poorly for Godolphin, changed stables, had the first run for the new stable. They just learned him out, and then his 2 subsequent runs have been good. So I think they figured him out now. He's a genuine get-back run home sprinter.
There's some merit in that, I agree.
So I'm happy to take him on trust.
I think Concealer's drawn to get an awkward run, and I don't want to be on the fence in straight races as a rule.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably the most talented horse here. Nasdaq's SP profile is very appealing, makes its own luck, goes Thornton to Lane, which is a massive tick. It's definitely in this race like a deserved favourite, and pending its holding condition and mounting yard, probably a big bet for me.
Big bet, Nasdaq's?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mapped the race similar to you. The only difference that I had was Jamie Carr, Concealer. I think she'll look to stalk Nasdaq's. I think she'll be very focused. I think Nasdaq's is the horse to beat. Roll along in front under its own steam. Interesting to note from my perspective was that last start, all runners bar Thalberg went well under benchmark first section.
Yeah, I also think Thalberg's a 1,000-metre horse.
No, I agree with you on that.
You want to find 1,000-metre horses.
Yeah, agree.
Just with the early speed in the race, a lot of these horses are coming off slowly run races. Everyone bar Thalberg. So if Thalberg wants to lead here, first speed indicator, Thalberg last start, first section, went +7.
Yeah.
Everyone else is anywhere between 0 to get down to demonstrate, where was 4.3 lengths under benchmark first section. So he's come off a really slowly run race, quick spurt home at the Valley. In terms of him being flat, I would not take that in as a concern. They went too slow for him. He was just a sprint to the line. That was a track work style gallop, big mid-race squeeze, 5.6 lengths.
Yeah, okay.
Same with Bo Rada. Bo Rada's a crack 955 1,000-metre horse. If they want to be far side of the track, Model look to come around, I think.
Yeah.
Model look for the best position last crack at Nasdaq's. I think Nasdaq's probably the safest bet in the race, because if Thalberg doesn't want to serve it up to him, he might just lead.
And that's the thing with Thalberg. You remember Mooney Valley Cox Plate Day?
Yeah, he got out the back.
He got snicked to the back.
Yeah,
he jumped clean and snicked.
So
there's no confidence in what that stable wants to do.
No, so with Thalberg, I'd have Thalberg hard in the race if he got out the front and wanted to roll along. But apart from that, the only other horses that I'd be interested in would be Concealer. I think the market will tell you a lot about Concealer. It's had a lot of problems. $5 to me seems a little bit short. If you looked at Concealer, if you got 10 to 1 in the morning, I think it would be great each way bet. Whether you get that, I don't know. Downs from Fontaine, big last start. Demonstrate, big last start. Sunday Escape's a little bit of a 1,000-metre horse.
Yeah, it does race well at Flemington
down
too,
the Valley,
so,
and does like that slow early tempo spurt home. So there's a few here who are going to be sorted by the tempo.
Right, race 2, 800 metres. Another benchmark 90. We've got an interesting import here.
Yeah,
I can't remember what Drew said, but I think he said it's quite a good horse, but wants further.
Yeah, I sort of thought that looking at his form, but it's hard to really get a gauge until they've had a start here. He's $10. That's the first starter for the Williams Halley.
Prices, please.
Harrison is the name of that horse. Kingswood Dreams favourite. Around 210 most places. Cinder win at 550, and then you're heading out to Will Leisure, who's had support in the early market. She's probably the best backed at 550, and Willy Willy at $7.
I think Cinder Win can lead. Kingswood Dream, OSL, Willy Willy box seats. Magic Console can get further forward than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Then Bullish Stock. Will Leisure last. Pissarro probably finds the fence. I'm not sure where Harrison gets to, and they'll probably tell you on race morning.
Yeah,
via an update from
they're good at that.
The stewards.
So that it's a big tick for.
They tweet when they want to tweet, the stewards, though, don't they?
Oh no, they tweet
did you
pretty
see a tweet
regularly.
yesterday when they started that favourite there at Ballarat, and it didn't want to race? It was vetted prior to the race.
It was vetted twice.
Vetted twice. It paraded like shit.
Oh, okay. You mean the stewards?
Yeah, they didn't
tweeting
tweet
it.
anything about that anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I'm saying Team Williams usually announce their tactics.
Yeah. Team wins
day
good
out,
with their
so,
tactics.
Yeah. I think for me on this race, it's a complete 2-horse race because of the map. A lot of horses here are going to be too far back. You're spotting
Good horses.
Too much ground. So Cinder Win can bridge the margin back on Kingswood Dream, but Kingswood Dream's fit. It's a no bet race for me unless Kingswood Dream gets out around 250, 260. I can see Cinder Win 210. I think he's a bit.
Oh, Jesus.
He's a bit short at that quote against Cinder Win, who can turn the tables. I think at least on the margin on their last start run.
Yeah, I marked him 250.
So yeah, I think I'm about the same. So I think I marked him 235, 240. So if I could get 250, I'd play.
I'm not going to say anything, so I totally agree. We can keep this one short, I reckon.
Yeah, keep this one short. Last time I was on the show, I was very par with Kingswood Dream. Made it quite clear that I didn't want to play with the horse around that $2 mark. Last start, 2.9 lengths above the IVR benchmark. Went slow early, just a quick zip home. We still haven't seen what's under the bonnet with him. If he can improve a length to a length and a half off that run, he's going to put himself into the fours category, which makes him of the upper echelon around the 2,000 metre horses.
I think he's got
400
definitely
metre
got
race.
scope to improve from the yard.
Well, if you think he's got scope and you can put an extra length and a half on him, they're going to have to be good to beat him. Interesting runner for me is Willy Willy. Reason being with Willy Willy is I think the lead's clean up for grabs if Willy Willy wants it. The last 3 starts have been very, very slow. Even when he led, he was still 5 lengths under benchmark when he led. He led at a canter. His best IVR figures, and especially Flemington, the 16 to 1800 metre range are when they go quick. If you got an update, steward's update within the next sort of 24 to 48 hours that they've got an intention to lead on Willy Willy, I think he's a fantastic each way play. Horse is in form. You've got to really forgive him last start. He sat 4th in the race, but they went negative 10 early. That's not his go.
Yeah, 100%.
What about also Sin to Win? There's often some serious cash for it. It's often heavily backed.
Yeah, I imagine he'll probably firm in the market just on his SP profile.
Do you remember they go for it at Pakenham?
Yeah.
Fucking enormous.
Well, Sin to Win, I can't put a figure on Sin to Win anywhere in its last sort of 6 starts to say that it would go anywhere near a Kingswood Dream or...
Is that because he's been in slow races early?
Predominantly slow. The Flemington race over 2,800 back on the 7th to 11th, they went plus 10. That was way too quick for him. Anything around the benchmark sort of range, he's just that benchmark to plus. If PB for him's around the 2.5. So he'd be a half length behind what Kingswood Dream did last start. Kingswood Dream's got plenty of scope to improve. These horses come hard into the race if they walk, because it changes the whole context of the race. When you seen him last week with a loft, a horse who might not have been fit for 2,600, but you turn that into a 1,400 metre zip home, and every single part of the form that you've done is out the window.
Yeah.
So I would... There's not a ton of speed here. If Willy Willy wants to go to the front, he's a great each way bet. If he wants to sit back, last 600, Kingswood Dream probably just clean him up.
Sweet. Race 3, 1,400 metres, benchmark 84. Prices, please, Trav.
Portman's the favourite at the moment. He's been well enough spec'd in the market, around 390s. His current quote. Then you're out to $5 Nocio, who's back from 1,600. And then out to $7 King's Command, $7.50 Downhearted, $7.50 Simply Invincible, and they're probably a $9 Sunday Prey.
This map is tricky. Simply Invincible can kick up and lead. Premier can roll forward. Downhearted should roll forward. Probably sits OSL. Sunday Prey can be forward. The Iliad, is that how we say that?
Yeah.
That.
Midfield, Shakopee, Fence, Tiamo Grace, talented little thing, back, Fence, Nocio and King's Command. I hope they can roll a little bit forward from those moderately sort of inside draws. Atlantic City, I don't know what they'll do there, and Portman, it's borderline cast here. I don't know where they're going to end up, and Burham's Buzz back at the tail.
Yeah, I'd sort of say with that map, I thought Prima he's not a 1400 horse. I'd expect him to be back further. He was in a slow race at 1200. And I think Sunday Prey, just because even though he led at a slow speed at Ballarat, he's always on speed. And stable just roll forward. So I'd imagine Simply Invincible and Sunday Prey for mine would lead.
Downhearted, where's Downhearted end up?
I think he ends up third or fourth. Didn't, he's
slots
sort
in
of,
or is cast?
No, he probably slots in.
Where's Portman end up?
I think he ends up midfield with a bit of a nice run, actually,
Portman?
for Holly. Yeah, I think horses like Shaka Pay and the Iliad are off long spells.
Well, I don't know. Is there a Galagados horse here that's going to put on a suicide pace and Ollie be able to slot in somewhere midfield? Because I hope there is. Because Portman's a moral if it gets a nice run here.
Yeah, I sort of mapped him sort of 5th or 6th on the outside. I think you'll get across.
Last week though, but then it ended up happening. Remember we were talking about Big
Yeah.
Sir, and I said like I want to back it, so I'm mapping it positive, or hopeful.
Yeah.
One thing with Portman, D. Oliver, when D. Oliver's in the zone, he will jump from 11 and he'll give his horse 6 to 7 strides and just really pay attention to what everyone else is doing. Ollie will just look for the A1 spot, best rider in the country to find the lanes.
Do you reckon?
And if
Yeah,
by
he's on
race three you'll find out that if you want to be 9 to 10 off the fence, Oliver will be heading there.
Yeah, totally.
He'll be happy to sit three wide with someone in front of him,
That's a massive pearl what we've given away today.
and he will look for those lanes, and he will come home
All right.
quite hard.
Do you want to focus on one or two horses here that you want to back?
Portman has a historical IBR benchmarking to improve 3 to 4, possibly even 5 lengths first up to second up. Looked enormous in the ring first up.
It's quite
Ran
forward.
out, was white. Really interested in him, think he's a fantastic bet. King's Command will find a race here, which I think will be predominantly slower than its last start. In terms of other horses, No-Shio's Flying can't get a race to suit.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. No-Shio's ready to win a race. It maps awkward as hell.
Last start early, -3. I think if it could push up to that benchmark range, 7.5 length mid-race squeeze tells you the horse is airborne and ready to win. What price No-Shio?
5s.
Yeah, $5. I thought it just
like-
the way he gets back from the map.
You need an each way price to back this horse in this race with this map.
Yeah, I'd agree. And he's back from 1600 too. So
And the other horse that I was interested
The horse
in
is flying and about to peak.
is Simply Invincible. The win at Wangaratta was very good. Go back 3 starts ago, 28th of Jan, Geelong, an adjusted IVR benchmark figure into a Metropolitan somewhere around the 3.5 range, which he'll take it up to Portman. Concern with Wangaratta is predominantly a Wangaratta, it's a race to the corner.
And
They
it's
go
also-
very, very quick early.
Wangaratta.
No, that's okay. Wangaratta form's quite strong. But they go very, very fast early, and it's a
Yeah.
last man standing affair. And if you can kick off that fast pace, you run good figures, good benchmarking figures, good through all platforms of data. So he's run 3 back Geelong, is superb. The horse is in very good order, and you're probably getting $7 because he comes off that Wangaratta run.
Alright, I'm very interested to back Portman and probably No-Show. Hopefully we sort of get a price with this map about both, and I'll wait till that parade. But No-Show's ready to win. I don't think this is the perfect race for it, and I'm concerned where Portman gets, but convinced it's probably the best horse in this race.
I'll be brutally honest. I got no edge here, so I'm not betting.
Yeah, I've tried to find them and I've marked them about what they are.
So I won't be betting.
Race number 4. It is a 1400 metre race again. For the 2-year-olds, is it? Yep, the 2-year-olds. It's a Group 2 of 1400.
Yeah, I think this is
Produce Stakes.
a terrific race. I think going forward, some real nice horses. I think in the making. $4.80 outrageous, just favourite, but he's $5 some places. $5 Nassim, then $5.50 Sanctimonious, $6 Tin Hat has had a fair bit of support early, Separate at 8, and then the rest are double figures. I think it's a pretty competitive race.
And a tricky map, but I think Sid's Coin might lead. Aristocratic Miss will cross Tin Hat can be forward. More Than Exceed can roll forward. Nasaim, 3-back defence probably. First Class Dreamer gets forward. A couple of slow horses are getting forward here. Titan Blinders, not a single cent. Sanctimonious back. Separate near the back. Run None last probably with Outrageous. I spoke to Tony McAvoy at the sales and they tried to push it forward in the Blue Diamond, was it? And the horse presented it and didn't finish off, so they'll be changing their tactics and it'll be ridden a lot colder.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at that, it's pretty speculative. Like, a lot of these horses have either let it slow tempos or just haven't really. They're like the 2-year-olds with 1 or 2, 3 starts. So I think it's not the be all and end all the map in this race for mine. I'm looking more at talent.
Yep. You want to focus on just a couple, so we can keep this thing under an hour.
Horses I was interested in from the race. Nassasim, I'll be brutally honest. If Nassasim was in the, is that how we say it? Nassasim or?
Nasaim.
Just say it's
Nasaim?
fast. Nasaim.
If Nasaim was in the Blue Diamond, I would have backed it each way.
Yep.
First up.
So now 1400.
First up win. The win at Ballarat, the maiden. I know it was a soft track. Best of the day. IVR figures 5.8 lengths above the IVR benchmark. Adjust that into a Metropolitan. You're looking about the 2.5 mark, which is pretty much level with written by the best of them. Anyone who's gone around and won a good quality race, Ennis Hill, that puts him hard in the market there. Caulfield jumped $1.40, had about as little luck as you could possibly have in a race. They went slow, they went slower again. So there was a length and a half mid-race slowdown. He got stuck and just, he's a classy little animal.
Mark Zara to Regan Bayless.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
What's a negative for me?
I'd say
Zara won that race with a great ride and really pushed the horse out.
Yeah.
A bit green.
I think the horse might be better suited here with a bigger field. They could just run
I
a
agree
big
with
genuine
that.
tempo.
You'd appreciate it more, genuinely run race. I thought...
Oh, Zara wouldn't, 54.5 kilos, so Zara probably hasn't got off.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Probably been a weight force, so...
But as a betting proposition,
What's Zara riding at? 54.5, or is he on the 56
56.5.
56.5.
That horse got home pretty well, not a single cent in that race, and paraded pretty well.
Two here, a few might not see. They come in. I'm big on horses, 2-year-olds who are winning or in form. I'm very sceptical on that Bomb Out Zero. The duck egg next to it, to me, says you might have come to the end of the prep.
100% agree on that.
Horses I'm interested in from what price Tin Hat, what price Academe.
I'm keen.
Tin Hat $6, Academe $21.
Both horses.
Tin Hat's unders at $6.
Hard in the race.
Not for mine.
Hard in the race. Tin Hat on an adjusted figure IVR wise, I put him in the 2s. Academe, I put him in the 1.5. Benchmark wise, I think you'll have to go about 1, possibly 2 lengths above.
I'm feeling a case bet. Okay, so you both like Tin Hat?
I'm not on 2-year-olds. I'm not having a case bet on 2-year-olds.
You do?
Oh, not in this race.
I'll take Aristocratic Miss to place. If it places, I collect. If Tin Hat wins, you collect. That's fair on the odds we're getting. And if neither do either, we don't. There's no case transfer.
I don't know if that's a great. That's not a great setup for me, Dicker. I'll
You're
wait
getting
for
sevens. I'm getting.
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'm winning that.
No, the only knock I'd have on Aristocratic Miss is
Try to get the young pup.
What got you last?
2-year-olds after.
Did you win that?
Yeah, Cliff's Edge didn't win.
John Allen should get. Darren Williams should get you the
2-year-olds, middle of the rung,
case.
out of the diamond into the sires. Is it an afterthought or were they targeting it? I like the horses who you think could run a race in the diamond, miss the diamond, go to the sires. They might have been set for it. That's why I like Nasaim, Tin Hat, Academe, and the other one I'd be interested in was Ollie Goes to Separate. I think it's a nice little horse.
I want to back Aristocratic Miss each way. I think it's a huge price for a horse that's going to roll forward, make its own luck. Comes out of the best form race for this race, which it had no favours in and stuck on really well. It's going to get a much softer run here. It'll be a slower tempo. It should be able to finish off just like it did in the Blue Diamond. And Separate's the other I'm really keen on. So those two will be the bets I will want to have in this race.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen Tin Hat, to be honest. I marked him favourite. I thought the win at Ballarat was good. He maps a lot better than Key Chances. Even though it's a speculative map, I think you can just assume he'll be right up there on speed. I'm pretty keen to bet him and not a single cent. I think Zara on, he can be a
What
bit
price does
closer.
Tin have to place?
Uh,
$2?
yeah, he's probably something like that.
Case bet?
That he won't place.
Yep.
Oh, jeez, I'll take that any day of the week.
Do you want that too?
No.
Not a single cent for mine at the place is $4.60 some joints, and he's $15. He nearly, with a bit of luck in running, could have won that race. Nassim was in. I know he gets out the back, but Zara goes on. Big tick. I just think he's the horse that's potentially overs. I'll play both of those. Really happy to avoid horses that are 3 weeks or longer in between runs in that race. I think they're going to be cast.
Whew. All right, race 5, 1400 metres, Group 2, fillies. 3-year-old fillies.
Yeah, another real theme of the day, but really competitive
race.
race.
5, we're 25 in, boys, so we're going to pick up the pace slightly.
Palazzo Vecchio is around $6.550. Then there's a wall of them. Shakora has been well back today. Was around $9 now to $6.50. 7 Siani and Summer Sham. Bella Martini at $7.50. Double figures the rest.
This Honey Esprit might lead. Summer Sham outside it.
Yeah, I could see that.
True Elixir might cross and lead. I don't know where it'll end up. But it's a gay horse.
Is it Corson's horse? Isn't it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's a Corson's horse drawn wide. So if it was a gay horse,
Definitely goes
crosses and
forward,
leads.
but
Corson's horse,
They could take.
God knows.
Yeah.
Zeus knows. You know? Harry
Could
Potter
take
knows.
this.
Some fictional character from a very popular book. Then French Girl is forward. Bella Martini, box seats. Smart Coupe, potentially cast. Stylish Missile back. Shakora, back fence. Platinum Angel, Marzuna, who is a potential star, cast. Rushla, who I think was just flat second up and is a really nice horse, completely cast. I'm not sure what happens here with this map towards the back half of it. There's just a couple of slow horses that are going to go quick for a little bit. They're going to take up nice spots and then just drop right out. So you don't want to almost be behind it. You're almost better being wider.
Yeah.
And the main thing that I think with this race is this is the third 1400 metre race in a row.
For the fillies?
No, for the day.
Oh, for the day.
So
Okay.
race 3 and race 4, 400 metres. So by that time, you want to spend as much time as you can between the race, figuring out exactly where the winners came from, how the race happened, and try and figure out a pattern and a spot where you want your horse to be in this race, and then I'll be looking to find that horse.
Yeah.
You're getting a really good guide on a tricky map, on a tricky race card, like a tricky track profile with a new curator. 3 races in a row at 400 metres. It's going to be a really good guide to where I want to be. I think True Elixir with a positive ride is a great price each way. And I think Marzuna is the best horse potentially in the race when it gets its shit together.
Very interesting to note. The one thing I noted from the race when I was sitting down having a look at it was I've mapped very similar to you. The thing with the Summer Sham, Honey Esprit, Smart Coupe is that speed-wise the horses have the ability to be prominent in their races, be the first 3 or 4, and to be in that 3 to 5 lengths above benchmark range early. If you're going to cross them, you're going to have to go +7. It's good night.
Yeah.
The thing as well with if you can get into that +4, +5 range, 1400 metre races will string out. If they go benchmark, they're going to be compacted and everyone's going to be looking for runs everywhere. They could sort out very, very quick and then drop the brakes.
Yeah. Well, that's what they'll
Because
do.
these
I think
horses
that's
from
what
the
they'll
inside gates have the ability to get there and get there quick.
Yeah.
So you've got to make your mind up. If you think something can cross, they're going to roll the dice with True Excelsior. It might be +5, +6 range. Last start, Mooney Valley it led, but it only went a length and a half above benchmark. So it's going to have to find probably 4 lengths to put itself right up with these. I think you're right, pretty quiet on it. I think first start, he snagged and went back to last. Second start, he was aggressive and went forward. I think he'll just look for a run, 3 wide in the run line. Look for the middle on it. I think he's a better horse ridden forward, so it'd be interesting to see what they do. If the option's there, he'll take it. Although I map the race very similar, I want to be middle of the track and storming home, and I also want something that I think can sit hard on the speed one out, one back run of the race. I think Shakora has the early speed to put itself there. Malian, I like the horse. I think it's going to be the one they have to run down in the straight. I think it'll hit the straight, hit the front at the 300, see if we can beat it. The two that can come out and storm down the lanes and beat it. Palazzo Vecchio, I said last time I was on the show. I think it'll end up in Sydney. I think she's a really smart young horse. I think Price Stable has a huge opinion of her. And the other one, blistering sectionals, can just see Regan rolling out into the middle and storm home with one big golden would be Seany. And I think a horse like Siani,
good horse.
I would not be surprised to see it in Sydney next start either.
I think Siani, it's about 1 or 2 away from peaking.
Yeah,
so
which
maybe
would put it
going
5th
to
up
Sydney.
into Sydney.
Yeah.
But horses like
that's just
Siani,
my opinion on the horse from the yard. It's not a fact.
which would map perfectly into where I think the horse is heading. But the thing with these stables, when they go to Sydney, they like to pay for the ticket to get there. And this is the sort of race where they'd want to get one under their belt.
Yep.
I think the 3 pretty good bets in the race.
Anything? Have you gone?
No, I haven't yet. But I just, on this race, I think that at the moment the market's quite congested. There's a lot of horses under $10, $11. Come race day, I think you're going to get some better prices for some of those horses that sit on the fringes. So if you like one of them, I wouldn't bet now. For me, it's very much a price-dependent race. There's not a lot between Palazzo Vecchio, Siani, and the other horse, Shakora, for mine. I think Shakora, can definitely win. It's really price-dependent. I'll just say what I marked them. Palazzo Vecchio, $5.50. And then I had Shakora probably 7 and Siani 7 just because they're going to get further back. But if I can get reasonable prices, I'll play. If I don't, I'll sit out.
I think it's quite interesting that Zara sticks on Marzuna. So I love that horse. I'm scared if I ever don't back it, it'll piss in. And if Rushla gets to like 50s on the fair, which is a very big chance of doing, I'll be having a couple of bucks on it.
Will the Craig factor let it get out to 50s?
Yeah, it will. It's going to have to. This market's going to.
Yeah,
it's going to move.
I would say so.
I wouldn't touch the 650 Shakora now.
The last start, it was
Eight's a good bet now.
moral first. It was a moral last start.
Rush.
Rushla, it looked like it was out of petrol on the line, so there's
There
some
could have just been
improvement there.
flat second up.
Oh no, it was very aggressive. So you put it there to win, got the job done. So people
Yeah.
overrate horses running on, and underrate horses who have done everything to win and stop. Everyone's worried about the flash home sectional.
Yeah, 100%.
Lexus Newmarket, 1200 metres, Group 1, handicap.
Yeah, competitive race, great Group 1. Favourites, Merchant Navy at $5. Then $6.50 Redkirk Warrior, $7.50 for Rich Charm and Brave Smash, $9 Booker, $11 for Catchy, and the rest are double figures.
Thronum, Lord of the Sky, and Booker can take it up from Miss Rock, Rock Magic, and Brave Smash. Rich Charm behind them, then Ken's Dream, Fastnet Tempest, Sosi Bon for the new stable. Can only go up. Redkirk Warrior, Sapedo, Lucky Liberty, Catchy, and Merchant Navy near the back.
I would say with this map, just the way I was seeing it, Thronum and Lord of the Sky haven't ran real quick tempos their last two at 1400.
Cathy on
Lord of the Sky, yeah.
let it go.
Yeah, potentially. But I'm just... Flemington, up the straight, they usually sit up anyway. I'm not expecting them to go quick. I'd imagine a horse like Redkirk Warrior, sat nearly outside the lead in last year's Newmarket, will be a lot more forward than what you've got him on the map. That's just the way I'm seeing it anyway.
I'm just thinking that young kid won one way on it last time, 2 weeks ago, does the same thing again.
Oh, he won on him in the Newmarket last year. He's a pretty versatile horse, and that was 1,000 metres. This is 1,200.
And they went breakneck.
Alright,
Quick.
mention just a couple so we get this pretty short.
Compressed race, 10 real chances in the race.
10.
10 from 15.
So it's a non-betting race for you?
No, I'm interested from a betting perspective. Horse I'm really interested in. There's 2 that I'm interested in the race to back. The 2 are Merchant Navy's got a real rock star sort of feel about him.
Oh yeah.
Went to his first up run, didn't look that crash hot to the eye. I said last time I was on, pen that form. Pen the whole lot from that Caulfield meeting. When the rail was hot, no one ran time. Forgive him, he was fastest sectionals of the meeting. He's got that real rock star approach to him where I think he's just ready to explode. I think the horse is going to go and really give Red Zell something to think about.
I just worry where he maps. Scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm happy for him to travel. We had the same issue mapping-wise when he was in the Coolmore and he just overcome all adversity and ran past them.
Yeah, but this is a different league.
Hot race. The other horse that I'm a big fan of, love him, think he's a little superstar, is Brave Smash. That 1400 metre run, normally odd 14 back to 12. But for him, they didn't go quick. He did it under his own steam and he savaged the line. He ran past. He was headed by Toes and Stardom.
He was suited though.
Oh, perfectly suited. Couldn't have had the race any more suited to him, but Toes and Stardom headed him in the straight and he took off on him. He just ran away from him like he wasn't there, and Toes and Stardom's one of the highest rated horses, in my opinion, in the country.
I agree.
The other thing that I really liked about the run was fastest last 200 of the race in a race where Humidor just set out the back and got to work home.
Yep.
So I actually ran off on Humidor doing nothing.
Yeah. But this is back to 1200 metre race.
But the back to 1200 is what's going to get you $7 instead of $3.50 favourite.
Yeah, that's true.
Where
I hate the horse.
It was a perfect...
but I wouldn't lay it.
It was a perfect lead-up run. Even though it was 1400, it was still a perfect lead-up run. If they went really quick,
yeah,
then he'd be ready for a mile. But he got to sit sprint, and his sprint was savage. Like, he savaged the line. He ran off on them. If you watch the last 100 of that race, he was just running away on them.
Yeah.
Horse is flying.
Okay.
I think he's a quality animal. Best of the rest, I think Sapito's going to come to the race ready to rock and roll. You can't ignore Redkirk Warrior. I think Redkirk Warrior tactics-wise, I think they'll jump from the gate and they'll play to the field. If they go quick early, he'll sit back. He'll look for the lanes again, come with one big run. If they don't, he'll roll along in front. The horse is very versatile. Yeah, probably the real sneaky in the race would be Miss Rock.
Yeah, well, okay, so I think Merchant Navy will win. I'm worried about the map. Unfortunately, I think the main threat is actually Rich Charm. I've had a case bet with Drew about this. So I'll spend an hour on the race today and trying to mark this thing harshly, and I can't. I think it's a lovely run.
Can I give the one knock on Rich Charm? If you watch the replay of his last start, this is going to go down the lines of the Abby Marie theory from last start. It's going to go down the lines of all those horses who are unlucky, held up, Mighty Boss. Rich Charm gets a drag all the way down the straight. Watch when he gets out last 100. Horse on his outside, Merchant Navy still holds him, and his sectional's still faster.
I think Merchant Navy will beat it, but so I'm scared of it.
I would have Merchant Navy 2 lengths superior to Rich Charm.
I don't think we can ever mention, what was that horse you just said? Mighty Boss in the same vein as Rich Charm, because Mighty Boss is basically a maiden winner who SP'd 101 in a fucking Group 1 and somehow won and cost me a stack, and I still hate the horse, and he showed himself up last Saturday. Brave Smash is a scary, scary horse. He didn't even whip it last start. It pissed him.
Don't lose on him, and you're going to get better than $2 a place.
Yeah. Redkirk Warrior, hard to knock. Rock Magic, sneaky. And definitely agree that Miss Rock is the overs in the race. And Booker's flying. Booker's best will be this race. It's peaking from a yard point of view. And I just hope that when Sosa Bond, the beautiful thing that it is, parades, this doesn't look like a complete moral, because I love the horse, I love the stable change. I don't like the booking, but it's going to be in the right part of the track.
Do you reckon?
Yep, 100%. I want to be there. I want to see
barrier 4.
So I'd rather the horse comes down the extreme outside.
Yeah,
barrier
he's
4.
drawn barrier 4.
No, it's barrier 12.
No, 4.
12.
I don't know where you're looking. Sosi Bond or Merchant Navy?
I'm talking Sosa Bond.
Oh, Sosi Bond.
I think Merchant Navy's the horse to beat.
Okay.
You? We need to quicken this up, boys.
Yeah, I agree, but I disagree with Merchant Navy. I'm happy to take him on at the price. I think his best runs have been in fast
$2 a
races.
place, isn't he? He would be.
Oh, he'd be probably shorter than that. He's about $4.50 in the market.
I can smell another case bet.
$5. Well, just let me make.
Doesn't
a
even
case.
drink.
Coke Zero slabs will go alright. But
I'm getting overs again.
what was I? Oh, all of his best runs, I think, for mine,
Yeah, against a box of Tongue Lager or something.
are in fast races, and then he draws barrier 4. The last 2 weeks up the straight, horses who have drawn 1 to 5 haven't won any of the straight races. I think it's a huge knock. I just can't get him that price.
Chadlick, little Chad.
Oh, I'm not a huge fan of the Chad, so that rules me out of him as well. So
He only won half the card the other week in the Group 1 meeting in Hong Kong.
yeah, no, agree. But he's been riding.
He was
Hong
riding
Kong
winners
Flemington.
2 years ago when he's balls probably hadn't dropped.
He won a Cox Plate and a Napa.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I agree.
saying
He's a good
probably
rider. He's a good
improved.
rider, but
He's a
I
star.
don't like backing riders who come in here for one ride on a Group 1 day against guys who are
Race
riding
6,
in
Group
Flemington.
1. Chad loves cash.
Yeah, I can
Chad
see.
drives a Mercedes. He loves cash. He wants to win the race.
You got to have an opinion though in this game, so you can't just think everyone's great.
Well, do you think I think everyone's
no,
great?
no, I'm just
If
saying.
you had to see the stuff we edit. Oh, fuck.
I think the race is just not going to go quick enough for Merchant Navy to explode. Whereas a couple others could be in front of him in the run. He's going to have to give him a start. And I reckon this is his toughest task to date, and he's too short.
All right, who are you backing?
Redkirk Warrior. This was huge last start at 1,000 metres at Flemington.
This is why I was talking about the map before. He's just justifying his little opinion. There we go. Now I'm on to you.
No,
on to you.
I think he can roll a bit closer forward.
Case bet Redkirk v Merchant Navy.
Yeah, take you on every day of the week.
Whoa!
I think
Big from a
Redkirk.
bloke who doesn't drink that 2 cases.
Oh, I'm getting overs every time because he's buying me a case of Stone Wood. I'm buying a case of Coke Zero.
Yeah, it's true. We might have to work out something where it's like.
Might have to be 2
even.
cases of Coke Zero versus
I don't want to be responsible for him having a heart attack.
only looking after
So
him.
H&S,
Yeah.
part of the mailbag, like company.
please, please.
We've got to look after our people.
Uh,
We're all on the same team here.
Jeez, it's taken a while to get me point across though. But Redkirk Warrior, if his late sectionals at Flemington, unbelievable. Like I think he ran from just memory last 200, 10.56.
Yeah, in a lane.
Yeah, still you probably get to the same line on Saturday, doesn't he? From 15.
Well, you've got him box seating.
Yeah, I think you just right in the right spot. I marked him favourite. I think he's overs at the price. I think the other horse I'm really interested. You blokes have both mentioned it. Is Miss Rock. This trolled like a bomb on Monday.
Trial between runs.
Yes, I like it. First up run was great.
Little
in the
Froggy
lighting.
knew it on though.
I love Froggy. in
Ollie the
handicaps.
Frog.
Oh,
Positive,
it's
negative?
probably a negative, but Frog in Group 1 handicaps, he's a good rider in Group 1 handicaps.
Because
His record in
Frog
the
love?
Newmarket
What does he
great.
love?
Cash. So, at $13,
There's a theme here, isn't there?
I marked at $13. I should say it's around 21. I think it's the overs in the race currently,
If you've
and
marked it 31s, you must have some favourites.
no 13. I said
13s. And what have you got? What have you marked? Merchant Navy.
I marked him 6.
Okay.
So
You've been harsh on Rich Charm. What have you been harsh on to get that down to 13?
Is there any
I've
chance
been
we can
harsh
get on
on-
with the 6s?
I've been harsh on Brave Smash. I think just from the way I just don't like the draw barrier 2.
Yeah.
One thing you got to
Hot and
remember
Cold
too
Willow.
is that the rail is out 4, and the lanes
Yeah.
and the quicker lanes are going to be
Mm.
normally 7 to 10 off the fence.
I can see your point, but I went back through
Hey,
all the recent
It's an
meetings at
opinion
Flemington.
game, and you've got to have your own.
Yeah, I've went back through the recent meetings at Flemington. Up the straight, the low draws are just detrimental, I think.
You go really well, but I just hope you don't win the case.
I think the other horse that I may be interested in at a bit of a price, if he drifts, is Sosi Bon. So
So if Sosabon wins and I didn't back it, you won't be getting any mounting yard mail for race 7, 8 or 9.
Well, the thing with Sosi
I'll be
Bond,
charging
I
for
think
the
the
West
market
Gate.
will be against him because he's first start, and that historically, I know Redkirk Warrior won the race last year first up. Historically, it's never been done before him.
with
all right.
Sosi Bond, just before you go, with Sosi Bond, horses like that, you can't step into this race and back these horses to win, but they are fantastic place bets. If you're betting on a 1x4, 1x5, 1x6, and you're taking, you're going to get between
60s,
$4 and
50s, yeah.
$6 the place.
Yeah.
You can't miss out on some of that. So if you're sitting there and you like these horses, don't have $10 the win on it. and watch it run around and run second or third.
Yeah, have $2 and win $8 a place.
Correct.
Definitely always got to have
perfect
someone
bets.
to win, or there's no point playing.
Yeah, but I'm keen. Redkirk Warrior. I nearly made him best of the day.
There'd be nothing. I wouldn't know what it's like, but there'd be nothing worse in punting than say having 100 on Redkirk on Sosibon to place, and it fucking won.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't enjoy it. I'd be disgusted in myself.
But it's a smarter way to do it.
Yeah,
is to back
the
it.
smart way. We're sick. That's why we're all here.
True.
Well,
You've got to
most
have
of my
20 to
betting,
win, 80 to place minimum.
If I like something to win and it's $5, my basic bet will be $20 to win, $80 the place. I will still
Yep.
win on that race if that horse places, because that chips away at your bank all day.
Perfect, smart play. Race 7, 1600 metres, fillies and mares, Group 3, over the mile.
Yeah, Samovet.
Prices, my man.
Samovet is favourite at around 280 punters, so I think he should be a bit short. 420 Shillelagh, 380 Spanish Reef, and then the rest double figures not wanted. I think this is a race market could be potentially wrong.
Spanish Reef can lead here from Royal Applause. Samovet, I think, will box seat from 1. I don't think she'll take on Spanish Reef or Royal Applause if they want to cross her. Jester Halo, Cindy Pauls. Can she slot this thing in? 1 back, 1 off? I hope so. Mar Jones behind it. Scratchy Lass, 3 back the fence. The Sorceress and Shillelagh. Then Monteas and Tranquil Miss. I was keep it short because we're taking too long. Spanish Reef's run and win last start was enormous. The form from the race shit itself at Bendigo with Miss Adequate not delivering. However, she's had an extra 10 days now to recover from that brutal run. She has to be favourite here, in my opinion. I'll probably end up saving her though, and I want to have large lashes at Jester Halo and Mar Jones, who I think are enormous odds here. Do I save Spanish and back these two, or do I back these two each way? I don't know yet, but I love the way they hit the line. I love the way their SP profiles are. I love the way they map. I think they're enormous odds. Shillelagh's a horse of mine, and so is Montea's Secret. Hopefully I get a big enough price Montea's to get something out of it, but Shillelagh at the current odds is poison.
I disagree 100%. I thought she should be fave. So 1600 Flemington, that's historically her best win in an Emirates Stakes against Group 1 horses. These horses are coming out of, I know class isn't everything, and I prescribe to that theory, but they're coming out of benchmark 84 or a low grade Group 3. She's been there, done it. I think on all horses on their exposed best, I'd rate her 2 lengths better than the rest. Query is whether she gets back to that best, but from barrier 4, Mick D, third up, she may be able to be a little bit closer than what she has her most recent 2. She come out.
They'll definitely try and be more forwards. It's what Waller does. If it's drawn inside, they try and be positive. If it's drawn outside, they snick.
Yeah, and she was more positive in the Emirates when she won at 1600 Flemington. I think her run in the Futurity, like she's coming home in good sections against horses like Humidor, Toes and Stardom, Brave Smash. Like she's got through the line nicely. I just think she's a better horse than these on exposed form. I'm keen to play.
It's a fair point. Haydos?
I am in agreement with Trav.
Oh.
I am. Shillelagh, 0 chance last start. Her first section was 8 lengths below benchmark. The statistic that you can't see visually is the 15.4 length mid-race squeeze, so when they accelerated, her acceleration was quick. She has a historical IVR benchmark PB, the race mentioned before, in the Emirates of 6.3 lengths above the IVR benchmark, best of the day on a hot Group 1 day. Her last 2 runs, they have gone -6 early. She has -8 early. Big squeezes say the horse is going a lot better than what the form says. In terms of the other runners, I completely agree with you. Mar Jones is a great bet in the race each way.
Yeah, well, I think that's what we've got to get down to. Do you want to take $4 Shillelagh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to take $12 Montea's Secret?
I think I could mark her a little bit shorter.
$2.80 Samovet.
No.
No.
Some of it's going to improve. Samovar would be a very big mounting yard horse on the day. Samovar.
Very forward last start. All he had spurs on a mare.
Yeah, they were there to win, but they walked. The race was completely
Yeah.
unsuitable for her. That's not her cup of tea. Ollie twisted the screws. The horse was obviously going very well. The money was there to support it. If you turn this race into a 1600 metre Group 1, Shillelagh would hold its price around the $8 to $10 range, and all these would be 20 to 1 or better.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. But Charlie just needs luck, and at $4.
One thing with Chris Waller, I've got, obviously I work as a clocker and clock a lot of Chris's horses. Waller's very, very big on the big mid-race squeeze. His horses drop out, they're big from the 800, they work home, and when they're ready, they present into the race. So if she jumps out, sits 1-1,
In play.
you can hardly quote. But Spanish Reef, huge first up, 5-length career best.
Could
IVR,
be flat off it.
5.5 lengths above the IVR benchmark. If she brings that, she's probably $4 second favourite to me behind Shillelagh, who I would mark. If Shillelagh comes to play, 6 to 4 is a good price, Shillelagh. So I would be very interested. One thing I will do with Shillelagh is I will watch the market. And for anyone watching at home, the professional punter can't get on with the corporate bookmaker till after 9 o'clock with the minimum bet law. Watch your fluctuations between 9 and 10 o'clock. They're the most powerful fluctuations. After that, watch 15 minutes before the race on Betfair.
5 minutes.
I start to monitor 15s and I start to chip away at anyone who wants to put stupid prices out.
Yeah, that's probably a point. But the serious action happens for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
I got a program on Excel that logs the flux from Betfair, and it only starts at 6 minutes.
so if they can roll along here at a benchmark tempo, I've only got them running somewhere around that. So horses who are on speed are going to be good place chances in the race. But if they can get this into that benchmark to +2 range, and Shillelagh can get to that benchmark range early speed, you're going to see a completely different animal.
All right, race 8, Australian Cup, 2,000 metres, weight for age, Group 1.
Yeah, Galo Chop all the rage.
We're going quicker. We're going to mention 3 horses each here. That's it.
Group 1.
Yep.
$2.80, $3 is $2.80 low, $3 high. Galo Shop. $6 El Mandan, and then you're out to $7 the Taj Mahal, $8.50 Single Gaze, and $8.50 Hartnell.
Okay, supply and demand, I think will lead. It's a gay horse, drawn wide. They're going to have to roll forward. Galo Chop can come with it. Sid OSL, Homsman, box seats, Single Gaze, Kathy. What a woman. She'll be one back, one off. Lord Fandango fence. Devise behind Single Gaze. I think Hartnell and El Mandan will be back a little bit further than that. Ventura Storm. I think the Taj Mahal is going to end up last. The fence, I think it's a really good chance in the race. Pending track play, I think Galo Chop is borderline moral. Probably save Single Gaze, Taj Mahal, and I think Devise is stupid odds at 20s. That's how quick we're doing it.
I think Galo Shop, you might get a better price on the day just because supply and demand's there and could offer a little bit of resistance for the lead, which some mappers might take as a little bit of a negative. For mine, the most interesting run in the race is the Japanese horse Ambitious. He's beaten Kitasan Black. That's better than any horse here. But if you're watching trials, you'll never see a Group 1 horse jump out or trial worse than Ambitious.
Yeah, someone told. Is that you who told me this? So I've just penned it. Someone's told me it's going like a busted.
So I marked it 70s on its trial.
You can't mark 70s.
Look, you don't have an opinion. So
I've just tried to mark it near its price so I can chop it out.
I think I can't have him.
I can't lose on it at $30.
Yeah.
I can see everyone's going to have that opinion, but
If I'm
I do a lot of
if I'm going to have a
trial
$60 bet in the race, I'm going to have $2 on him to even out.
No, fair enough, but I can't have him at all. I think the horse for mine is Single Gaze. I know she's not really a horse of mine, but she just represents a little bit of value at the price. She usually peaks 3rd, 4th up She's been going historically really well for her first up runs. I think she can bridge the margin back on Galo Chop because he's got more pressure here with supply and demand. Like, supply and demand's got none, but he's just a pest to Galo Chop. So,
Device can win that. Chad could have 2 Group 1s here.
Chadlick. I don't like New Zealand Group 1 form, so I didn't rate her. But
It's staying races.
yeah, but she won a mile race. Like, it's no good for me. The only other horse I could suggest is big odds, if you can forget one run, is Harlem. This horse at 2,000 metres historically is his best performance on top of a hot speed. So, which I think will happen here. He could maybe bounce back. It was a shocking run last start though. Pretty keen to probably sit out in the Group 1.
Interesting to note because you boys are playing into my hands. I rate Galo Chop with the tempo. My fear with Galo Chop would be to get the lead too easy.
Yeah, I think it's a
If
bonus.
they lock the brakes up on Galo Chop, it's going to open up horses who have +5, 6, 7 finishes on him. If supply and demand even thinks about going with Galo Chop early, supply and demand is going to be in a world of pain it's never experienced before.
It will though, and it will.
Yeah,
Big thing with this race, if you are watching and you are listening, I would be in two minds about this race. Be very, very active on the way the track's playing. If it's fantastic to be up the front, on speed, on rails, Galo Chop,
Moral.
I would price Galo Chop somewhere around the $2.20, $2.30 range. The thing that Galo Chop's going to do here last start, first section +10, suffered a 12 length mid-race slowdown, so the race to him was run suitable pace-wise, but he slammed the brakes on, so it was unsuitable for a leader, and then he ran off on them again, where if he had rolled along, he would have really hurt them.
Yeah. Which is a good way to lead into this race, though.
I just can't see, whatever he does pace-wise, I can't see Single Gaze narrowing the margin. I think he'll run off on her. Taj Mahal scares me. Think he's a great each-way bet in the race. Galo
Agreed.
Chop will put the huge pace into the race, which will suit Al Mandan. Harlem, perfectly agree with you on Harlem. I've got a historical benchmark of 8.8 lengths above the IVR benchmark. My concern with Harlem is I thought they were worked out the horse was a 2,000 metre horse, and then I hear they're setting it for the Sydney Cup. So Harlem's got a pen from me. Horse I'm waiting for to do something, hasn't had a race run to suit yet. It's Lord Fandango, and I'm not going to lose on Ambitious or Devise.
All right, race 9, 1,100 metres. What is it? 3-year-olds. He mentioned 2 horses this time because that was disgraceful, boys. I'll do the map. Freeze Over leads Twilight Song, Vein Stream Regiment, then Prasado, She's So High, pretty fast. Rue Rewarding behind that, then Written Choice, Streets of Avalon, and I'll have a bit bringing up the rear. Prices, please, Trav, quickly.
Prices $5. Regimen favourite. Prasado, big drifter in the early market, $5.50. Went up 4s, had no support. She's So High, 6. Everything else 7+.
By my Manning Yard Mail, if Freeze Over, She's So High, particularly She's So High, or Streets of Avalon parade extremely well, I think they are complete and utter fucking morals. There's a lot of slow horses here. I'm so keen to bet here, but I want to see how they parade. This She's So High first up is the best horse in the race, in my opinion. Hope it parades well. Hayden?
You get 25 to 1 or better Written Choice on the day. It was a race completely run not to suit Pakenham. Previous starts, jumped odds on, has
Missed the start at Pakenham too.
forgive it one run, and you can quarter its price in this race.
Ollie to Stevie.
Yep, you'll see Stevie, you'll see Spurs, you'll see Go Forward, can lead. They don't go very quick in this race. If they do, they're putting themselves out of the comfort zone. With horses like this, and with horses like Prasado, Freeze Over, you've got to really rate them on their last 3 runs. You can't always rate horses on their last start. Everyone rates horses on their last start, means you get $21 instead of $5, $6, $7. Races aren't always run to suit, so 3/4 of the field can't win just on the way the race is run. So you've got to be forgiving of some of these horses. Streets of Avalon, huge last start, hard in the race. After that, I think the way that I read the race, Freeze Over way too slow last up for him. I think they'll really want to get out, roll along, see what they're made of.
That hurt. I had a good bet at that last time.
Written Choice, same deal. Written Choice jumps, hard in the race. Happy there, $21 each way.
2 horses.
I thought it was a really tough race to finish the day. Horse I'm interested in is Vane Stream. Comes off 2 runs at Moe. On the stuff I do, he rates right up there with him. I think he's a bit of a talented horse on the way up.
Have you got some mail here from Johnny Pascoe?
No,
Hey?
I've liked the horse early days. He trialled.
How good's our lighting here at the mailbag?
I'm getting absolutely blinded. But
Just finish off.
Vane Stream for mine. You'll get a huge price on the day just because of the stable. No way it jumps 10s. It'll probably jump 26s. I think it could be on speed and just a ridiculous price for what it's done for me.
Alright, what's your best bet of the race meeting, Trav?
Can I just add pretty fast to the punters at home? Each way, Mark Zara, Mike Gay out in the last 2-bet play, Written Choice. Pretty fast.
Pretty fast?
Yep.
I think it's the lay of the day. At the odds, it's poison.
Go off, it's Rose Hill Run, $100,000 race, got the money, beat Easy Eddie.
Marked at 30s. It's an opinion game.
It's an opinion game, there to win.
Best bet, Trav.
Oh, tough day to have a best bet, but I think Shillelagh race 7 number 1.
Alright. My best value bet is Mar Jones in that same race. Best bet?
Best bet, track's playing on speed, Galo Chop. If not, the one who wears the little import, he's flying.
Brave Smash?
Brave Smash each way, probably, but...
No, he's talking about Gala Chop.
No, King of something.
Kings will Dream.
Kings will Dream, he'll get the money.
Best value for me, I think, will be Vane Stream in the last. I imagine it'll... Not currently, I'd wait till late, because it'll drift big time.
My best bet is have a little weary all up. We can... What do they say? Back weird, drink beer.
Yeah, that's the one.
I like the Chris Lees one. Back Chris, sink piss. Anyway, Kingsville Dream into... What's the other one?
Galo Shop?
Yeah, Kingsville Dream into Galo Chop all up. That's my best bet of the day.
Layla Day?
Shillelagh.
Oh, I'd say Layla Day for mine. Outrageous.
Alright.
4th.
Thanks for the show, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed it a little bit. We didn't get to the viewer questions because these guys talked way too much about each and every horse.
There was one viewer question: is Chautauqua finished? And I'll give you the tip: if Chautauqua can't get out the gates, he's finished.
Yeah, you can't start.
If you can't get out, you just can't run.
It's probably...
You've got to trial twice now, so if you're betting in all-up futures markets...
Oh, if you're betting in all-ups with Chautauqua, you've got massive sickness.
Yes.
Severe sickness.
He's got to trial twice now. If the Hawk stable can't get him right, no one on the planet can, so...
I hope they just do the right thing by the horse. He's been great to racing.
Correct.
Alright, guys, I hope you'll win.
Good
Bye.
luck.